Thank you, Doug. Of course, each and every year we get to the point where we make our selections for induction. And as mentioned before, it's quite a process that the committee goes through. And before I introduce the guys, we have several members of our media selection committee that are here today. And I know you guys don't like to take a bow, so just raise your hand, be acknowledged. Those that are on the committee, you can raise your hand. There you go. We appreciate each and every one of your contributions and your passion for serving this every year. It's pretty interesting because it's an individual discussion. It's never a group discussion, oh, we're going to have a daily double and parlay this guy with that guy. Each and every year our charge is to select one or two, no more than two, but one or two inductees for the Saints Hall of Fame. This year we arrived at two. And ironically, it turned out to be a little bit of a daily double in horse racing terminology, with a triple crown perhaps beckoning. These two individuals are the first two native of this metropolitan area to gain induction to the Saints Hall of Fame when they get inducted later this year. And they happen to be going in together. And they happen to share some of the same skill set because they both were tremendous return artists in their time. But as both will remind you, that's not all they did. One excelled on offense when given the opportunity. One would have excelled on offense if he was given the opportunity, but he did a really good job on defense too when he was granted that opportunity. First up, he played for the Saints after being drafted by his hometown team in the 5th round in 1993, and he made his impact felt instantly when he was named All-Pro, which in this case means there's only one guy, one return guy is named All-Pro. So unlike other positions where you might have a few guys going to the Pro Bowl that were good at their positions, this guy was the very best at what he did. And he set a record for the most kick return yards in a single game when he performed what Jim Henderson termed the daily double, returning 2 kicks for touchdowns, 98 and 91 yards, I believe it was, or 92. There you go. Just about one. In a single game against the then Los Angeles Rams here in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. He had a brilliant career here. He had the 5 interceptions to boot on the defensive side of the ball. And of course, we're just very, very pleased to have a hometown hero being honored here today out of St. Augustine High School, born in the lower 9th, grew up in the 7th Ward, and then left to go be a Cornhusker before coming home. It's my pleasure to introduce to you our first electee to the Saints Hall of Fame for 2015, Tyrone Hughes. Tyrone?
Woo! How y'all doing? Thanks a lot, Selection Committee. In words of Sam Cooke, it's been a long time coming. And I appreciate it. I'm ecstatic. I'm excited. I want to thank everybody that played a part in this. And I'm just happy with the fact that actually me and Mike are going in and are New Orleans natives to be going in. So that's a blessing as well. I'd like to thank just the Saints as an organization for even drafting me and giving me the opportunity to come in and play. I was telling Ken earlier, I said I never was nervous knowing that the Saints needed a punt and kick returner when I was drafted because I knew that was something I could do because I had done it, unlike most players, since playground ball. Some guys you may have come in and do it as college guys, some might do it in the NFL. I started in playground being a punt and kick returner, so I was used to it. That was one thing I was not nervous about, didn't have to learn. It was harder to learn defensive back than being a kick and punt returner, so which everybody said that's the most scariest thing. Didn't have any problems with it, didn't have any issues with it. So looking at the records that was set, I told Ken earlier, I'm still tired from that 1994 game. Not only did I have the 2 kickoff returns, but I also had my first interception. It was my first start on defense as a cornerback. Had my first touchdown scored on me. But it also went down as a game with the most kickoff, most return combined yards as far as return game because I had a 98-yard return, a 92-yard return. Then you had Toby Wright who had a 99-yard fumble return. Then you had Bailey who had a 108-yard punt return. So it was a game back and forth. We ended up winning, and it was a pleasure. I think one of the most exciting times, definitely, that was really unexpected was my rookie year. You know, being able to come in and do what I did and being able to go to the Pro Bowl because, again, I didn't expect it. I didn't even expect to, first of all, I didn't expect to go to college playing football. Coming out of St. Augustine High School, I just wanted to play football, and that's all I did. Was fortunate enough my senior year, and only my senior year, I just started getting a lot of scholarship offers. Ended up going to Nebraska. Came out of Nebraska, again, not even expecting to play NFL football, just did an excellent job. Came out as one of the fastest guys in the draft, and you know, the Saints figured they needed a defensive back as opposed to a receiver. So they drafted me as a defensive back, but mainly, again, coming in knowing that I was able to do the punt and kickoff returns. And I had asked Jim Moore one time, I said, well, why can't I be a receiver? Why did you guys draft me as a defensive back? He said, well, Tyrone, to be honest, we didn't think you could catch. I said, well, Coach, I'm just starting punt and kick returner. If I drop a punt, that's a fumble. If I drop a pass, that's incomplete. He said, yeah, but don't worry about it. You're doing a fine job. So that was his reason for not putting me on the offensive side of the ball. But again, I really appreciate it. It's been a long time. I went through a lot, put in a lot of hard work, and I really appreciate it. And thanks to you guys that's out there who voted for me. Thanks a lot.